Hey guys, good day and energy to everybody. Hope everybody's doing all right. I know the past couple days have been quite, oh boy, just an emotional roller coaster. But I'm here now and I'm feeling okay, and I'd like to deliver a message about the Bible to you guys. And the kingdom of heaven is within. That's what's been on my heart, and it's a message for myself too, as much as I want to share with everybody and everything else. And it's a really important one, I think, especially with everything going on, all this uncertainty and craziness and chaos. There's a lot of fear. There's a lot of people who don't. Sorry about that. Who aren't really sure, what they're gonna do with themselves. Even if they're gonna have work, if there's gonna be a food shortage. I mean, there's all sorts of different reasons for one to be anxious. And there's really no reason. I mean, there is reasons to be anxious. There is. Don't get me wrong. I still get anxious too, but there is an ideal. There is a practice. Christianity can, if you work it, if you put the time and effort into it. And I'm not there yet, but I have grown, and I want to continue to grow. And I know that there's also a force that doesn't want me to speak about being a Christian and Yahushua and the Most Highs, and I don't want to be controlled by that force anymore. And I also know that that's part of growing, is getting through these trials, getting through the trial of feeling bad about speaking, about being shamed, about how people are going to look at you, about the conflict, because people love to. Anyway, there can be a lot of reasons why, we don't want to do or say certain things, and that's okay. That's all just the resistance and the things that we need to grow from and, to change on. So it's all right. But, yeah, the kingdom of heaven is within, the kingdom of heaven, that essentially to me is just the most high love realm. The most high love is within all of us. We have it, but based on who we are and what we've done with ourselves, we have different connections. Our bodies are full of organs and pathways and things that are connecting and binding and moving and going this way and that way. And our flow is all dependent on how much, essentially love and how well everything is operating with each other. So if we came here as God, as children of God, as children of Source, as children of life, the Son, that, then that is within us. We are that, but we manifest into this world, into this flesh, into these flesh suits, and it's a physical thing. Now we're met with the material and all the things that go within the material, and then you have the contrast of the stimuli and the sensations and temptation, and it's a beautiful struggle of desiring the immediate gratification of the moment, or desiring something longer, some longevity that's going to last and bring you maybe a little bit more of a perpetuation of productivity and positivity for that matter. So I'm kind of rambling right now, but essentially what I'm trying to say is that these cities, I've just had this strong calling in my heart to just speak the message about getting people out of these cities, like for a really good reason. And I think the reason is because these cities are full of devices. I mean, our phone are devices, TVs are devices. There's so many devices and things and enticements and temptations and stuff that's just taking your energy away. And, we just continue doing it day after day after day after day after day because everybody else does it, and we don't know how to do anything different, or we don't have the desire to seek something different. This is where it's important, because seek and ye shall find. You really got to have, if you truly want something different to change in your life and how you feel and who you are and where you're going, then you have to seek something different. You have to start becoming that which you seek. So, if you're really trying to become closer to God, then you got to become more like God. You got to become more like Yahushua. And we as a humanity have become less like God. I mean, yeah, we've moved away from the commandments of God, and we've moved closer into the commandments of the devil. And most people in America aren't really aware of this, or they don't want to be aware of this, or they'll call you crazy for saying it. But I mean, it's becoming pretty clear, and each and every day it seems to become more clear. So it's only a matter of time before I feel, the truth is really going to be revealed, and people really aren't going to be able to deny it. I mean, it's even at this point that it's in, it's kind of hard to deny. But delusions are powerful. And delusions are just part of the trial and tribulations that we all got to go through. So it's all good. One of the best ways we can help break through these delusions is to create something real, is to create something authentic, is to create and be a true example of people trying to get closer to God and love and harmony and goodness and justice and righteousness and fairness and balance as well as we can manage. I'm not saying there's not going to be problems or hiccups or sins or anything like that. That's still all things we got to deal with. But we're moving away from living in a society that perpetuates sin and literally has gotten to a point to now we have leaders in positions to keep people in sin, to keep people stupid. Sorry, I don't like using that word stupid, but to keep people at a lower vibrational energy, not as connected to love, energy's down, depressed, sick, scared, and looking for a way out, and it's and then I have a feeling that this new world order, these people are going to come, this great reset, there's things that they're going to show you that are going to be enticing, a lot like these vaccines. It's a similar ball game. They get you set up with one thing, and then they give you another thing, and then you start to build in that, and you have momentum, and you start trusting these people, and then they really get you, or it's just a continuation of trickery until you wise up, or until for however long you got to go through that wheel, through that cycle, and become that. And then maybe you become that long enough until you realize you've had enough of that, and then you start wanting to love again, and then you move away from that. But anyways, I'm digressing a little bit more. If y'all have watched this long, thank you very much. It's not my most cohesive video, but I just wanted to start speaking more in the Bible and on how the kingdom of heaven is within. And this also for me translates into nature, because it makes sense to me why I've always felt such contentment when I'm around nature. It's interesting too, because we have all these stuff and all these things around us, and for me, I really I don't, at least in the spot that I'm at in my journey, I don't find much enjoyment or fulfillment, even should I say value in these cities and the things that people do in these cities, like watching television and even like cooking foods. And like I just don't have, it's hard. Living with my parents, it can be especially challenging because they want to talk about things like dinner and foods and tastes and shows, and I can see in their heart they really care about it, and I don't want to be a dick and be like, I'm really not, I don't care about what you're talking about right now. But part of me does feel that. But right there I got to stop myself, because Christianity is unconditional love for all, and for me that translates really well into being present in the now moment. No matter how justified I feel in my reasoning for not wanting to listen to them talk about their dinner and the type of foods they eat, it's still a now moment. It's still a moment. I'm still with people that I love. I'm still with life members, and I have a chance right now to help cultivate this moment towards love and positivity. And I also have a choice to help cultivate it more towards negativity and hate. And I chose in that moment to cultivate it more towards negativity and hate by having that feeling inside of me that's like, oh, why are they talking about food? It's a sin. It's da 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 da. Like, even though some could say I was righteous in my indignation or my irritation with what they were talking about, I myself was still actually the lower vibrational entity in that particular moment, because I was lowering the vibration of the environment by being irritated by things that they choose to want to talk about. I don't have to get upset about it. I can just choose to acknowledge where she's at and appreciate and understand and really talk with her on her level, and get off my high horse for a second and get back down onto her level and be able to relate to them. And I think for people like us, it's an important skill to have, and it's something that I'm still working to develop, because I can find myself getting irritated with things that I don't think are meaningful, but everything's meaningful. Everything you're going through in your life is meaningful. So I would like to get better about being patient in those moments and learning to help really communicate with these people. And also, though, I think it's also important to try to also bring about your own truth and let them know how you're feeling. Like if they want to talk about foods and stuff like that all the time, that's cool, and I'll entertain you. But I hope that you want to hear about some of the things that I have to say. About how we can come together and start helping save the children. How we can potentially cure cancer with hemp. How we can fight this satanic system spiritually by coming together in love. Like if we just begin to start talking about these things, and if I also am able to feel like, they're cool with wanting to listen to the things that I have to say as I listen to things that they have to say, then I think that could be a little bit more of a harmonious relationship for us both. And we're both able to express the things that we're passionate about. So it's good. And both parties feel respected, and a good communications were created. So it's a good thing. And it's something that I think if I can learn to develop better, it'll help me spread the message and also be more patient and keep my vibrations in a better, higher realm, so that I'm not getting, bummed out and pissed off and angry, because that does happen sometimes. So, all right, I hope you guys are doing good. I don't want to make this too long, because, it's already gone on over 10 minutes, and, So anyways, thanks for watching. If you guys have this long, I love you all. I hope you guys are doing good. And yeah, hit up a comment, or if anybody wants to talk, I'd love to share ideas. So, all right, y'all, take care. Much love and peace. All right, bye.